Three witnesses took the stand as the prosecution begins winding down. Most notable of those witnesses was DEA agent Victor Vazquez. The agent told the court that he was the lead liaison with the U.S. Marines and was at the scene when El Chapo was captured for the second time.
He also testified about keeping the federal police out of the operation because of corruption. Vazquez will continue his testimony today.
CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is joining us now to talk about all things El Chapo, the latest. So we're hearing about this DEA agent that might have been compromised, I guess, right? Or no, he's not. He's testifying for it. So tell us about the significance of his testimony. Why is it valuable?
Victor Vazquez, on the contrary, is the model DEA agent.
Okay.
He was the man in charge of the operation that was going to capture both El Chapo, who is eventually captured, but also, and a very, very bad piece of information for the defense, they were also out to capture El Mayo, which we have often called El Mayo, his partner, because the defense has said, hey, look, this was all a conspiracy on the part of El Mayo, my partner, well, not my partner, my boss, who was there to blame everything in the Sinaloa cartel on me. Now, DEA agent Victor Vazquez says they were going forth to capture El Mayo. Now, what happens is they get to El Mayo's residence at the time. He's gone. He's off in the wind. And they do get some of the people who work for him. They do get a cache of weapons. But to date, as we know, El Mayo is alive and well and supposedly still running the Sinaloa drug cartel. Wow. But Victor Vazquez tells a story. I know you know I do this every time, but it's so right out of Cartel.
Right, your favorite book.
Victor Vazquez is Keller in Cartel. And what Agent Vazquez, just like Agent Keller from the DEA, the fictionalized version, tells the story of going in on Black Hawk helicopters, 100 special ops strong, to be able to land and capture this guy. And in this case, it doesn't work because they don't get, this time, El Mayo or El Chapo. But eventually, in 2014, Victor Vazquez will continue on the stand. It's El Chapo's last arrest and final capture since he has not escaped a United States prison.
So I'm still intrigued by Alex Cifuentes. He finished his cross-examination. He's the self-proclaimed right-hand man. He made all sorts of wild allegations, including that they were paying off the president of Mexico,
right,
Enrique Peña Nieto, with bags of money, $100 million. What do you make of his testimony?
Well, it's interesting because Paul Batista, another expert who comes to talk with you and I, and we are old friends and colleagues, we both have very different opinions about this. And I watched his time with you yesterday, and I know that it's a bit laughable to think of coming up with $100 million. But look,
yeah, Paul was like, that's just, it's
how do you
really
deliver?
Well, is it bigger than a bread box?
Yeah,
but
right.
the reality of the situation is that the Sinaloa drug cartel was paying off Mexican authorities, whether at the lowest level of law enforcement up to the highest level, and they were paying them gobs and gobs of money. So it may not have come in one suitcase, but it may have come over time. I have no reason to doubt the testimony of Alex Cifuentes. However, the defense certainly does. Obviously, you have doubts about it because it does seem he'd have to come with a trunk.
Yeah.
But the reality is we don't know how he says it was done to someone who was going to pass it up to the president of Mexico, who has, by the way, emphatically denied all this.
All right, Rikki Klieman.
The testimony continues.
Continues just for a couple more weeks. Always great having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.